Hello, my sweeties. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Celise, and thank you for joining my spooky little family. In case you didn't already know, it is Body-Ody Month. So that means we're talking body horror this month, baby. In today's video, we will be talking about David Cronenberg's The Fly. Let's get into the video. Directed by David Cronenberg, The Fly follows a brilliant but eccentric scientist who begins to transform into a giant man/fly hybrid after one of his experiments goes horribly wrong. This film stars Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, and John Getz. This film is unsettling, icky, and surprisingly, very moving. It is not only the story that brings us all together, but it is the very talented cast, so let's get right into some performances. As Letterboxd user Persia said, Jeff Goldblum is pretty fly for a white guy. Jeff Goldblum is charismatic and great in his body language. His twitchy, creepy facial expressions and his energy is top notch. This is quality content. There isn't a moment in this where he didn't understand the character. Like, this man, he always understands the assignment. His performance is matched with one of my favorite women in this industry, and that is Gina Davis, who was actually Jeff's real-life girlfriend at the time, and he actually recommended her for this role, which makes even more sense why their love and chemistry just felt so real. Gina is a natural and very, very vulnerable actress. She really shines alongside him, but especially towards the end of the film as she begins to realize she's really lost the man that she loves. John Getz does a fine job as well. He doesn't really have too much to do until the end of the film, but he was pretty solid. Those are just some of my favorites. Now, let's not waste any time and get right into some specific things I liked. Like many of his films, The Fly has a very specific style unique to Cronenberg. His style often explores people's fears of disease, infection, and bodily transformation, which makes him one of the kings of body horror, in my opinion. I know whenever I watch a Cronenberg film that this man is coming for my life, because one of my deepest fears is anything related to my body or disease or me like deteriorating. That is one of my deepest fears. It's probably awful that I'm saying this here to all of you. Even though this film is very dark, there is some subtle comedy here that lightens the mood for sure. To me, Cronenberg's style is somewhere between Frank Henenlotter and John Carpenter. The story is much like a traditional tragedy in that a man goes so far to accomplish his goal that he loses himself, in this case, both mentally and physically. And trivia moment, initially many viewers interpreted the film as a cultural metaphor for AIDS. Cronenberg was actually surprised by this because he instead wrote this film to represent the struggle against any life-threatening illness and how dehumanizing the toll on the human body is to the person experiencing it and those close around them. It was really important to Cronenberg for Brundle to articulate what he was going through and how he was feeling. And he even read books of people documenting their life-threatening illnesses. This aspect kind of gives the viewer a more intimate connection to Brundle, which I really, really liked. We are right there with him every single step of the way. You can feel the hopelessness and sadness in this entire film, especially in the scene that did it for me.
I just don't think I've ever given me a chance to be me. But, of course, interestingly, at the exact same moment that I achieved what will probably prove to be my life's work, that's the moment when I started being the real me finally. So, listen.
It is in this moment that you begin to see his desperation, and what he says is ultimately really tragic. This moment kind of hit me a little too hard because it was extremely relatable as an artist. And trivia moment, the coffee shop scene was only half scripted when production began. The rest of it was written the night before the scene was shot, as Jeff Goldblum felt that he could add more to the character. And he very much did that. Him constantly adding more and more sugar into his coffee was a really great moment in this scene because flies actually really love sugar, so The more you know. I also really like the moment where Seth rolls onto a circuit board while in bed with Veronica for the first time. It is in this moment that we kind of get a foreshadow of him being betrayed by his own technology. I also cannot forget to point out how absolutely brilliant the practical effects and puppeteering was in this. Everything just looked gross and great. And it still is great. Like, this 10 out of 10 holds up. Also, Jeff was wearing as much as 5 pounds of prosthetic makeup during his fly transformation. King of makeup. This man was in the makeup chair for hours. This film is honestly probably my favorite tragedy. It is heartbreaking to see Veronica and Seth have that moment together at the end where he takes the shotgun and he points it to his head. And you can just feel Gina Davis's performance, like, through the screen. I can feel how devastated and sad she is that she has to kill the man that she loves. This movie, it hits. Not only does it hit in every possible way, from great gore to serious feels. And with that, I am going to be giving The Fly 5 lives out of 5. This film, to me, it's perfect. This is definitely not your regular, like, creature feature body horror kind of situation. It is so much more deeper than that. And honestly, we love to see it. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps me a lot. And be sure to click that little notification bell to be up to date every single time I upload. And let me know in the comments, have you seen The Fly? Did you enjoy it? Did you not really like it? What's your favorite Cronenberg film? I love to talk about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.